without further ado, today we have Pam Wright. She's a mindset coach. And you guys, we're going to be talking about money, money, money. I didn't have any 100 bills. I only had like pocket change. So I was like, kids, get me the Monopoly money. So I pulled this out. But we're going to talk about money beliefs, limiting beliefs surrounding money. Pam Wright is freaking amazing, you guys. And she's on here right now. I'm going to pull her on. But let me quickly introduce her. She's a mind master coach. You can find Pam at www.pam, P-A-M, Wright, WRIGHT.com.au, because she's in Australia. So you can find her there. You can find all of her social media. She's on multiple platforms. Thanks, Tiff. Thank you for putting that on there. So look down there and copy and paste that, you guys, because I don't want you guys to miss this. She's amazing. She's also an author. She's on Amazon, you guys. I pulled her up. And she has a best-selling book. It's called The Faster EFT Beginner's Handbook, Simple Steps to Stress Less and Smile More. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to smile more and stress less? So she has a book on Amazon. I strongly encourage you guys to go check it out, purchase it. Let me know what you think. I want to hear all about it. And then also, Pam's got a couple offerings today we're going to talk about. The Ultimate Money Makeover is freaking amazing. So without further ado, I'm going to bring... Hey, hi. Pam is going to talk a little bit about how to get your money mojo back. That was a topic we created, which is amazing. And then I put something else in the poster and I felt horrible about it. But I think it is amazing. Getting your money mojo back. And then also we're going to talk about her big project that I think you're going to be launching pretty soon, right?
Woo! I'm going to tell you about
money maker. The what? You say that again?
Today. I'm gonna. Yes, it's live as of today.
Yoo-hoo! That's awesome. So the ultimate money maker. So okay, I want to make sure that
ultimate money makeover.
Love it. And then Tiff, if you don't mind, put it in the comments so people have that. You guys will not want to miss this. I mean, I've combed through it. And I'm like, all the offerings with it and all the testimonials is mind-blowing. Just mind-blowing.
Yeah. I'm very excited about it. Really am.
You should be. And I want to talk more about it. So, but first, I just want to introduce you. And I feel terrible that we don't have a video, but that's okay. We're going to move forward.
I've got you, babe.
Okay. So let's go ahead and start with introduction. So just can you tell our followers a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Yeah, not a problem. So I guess... I really need to start with, I started with a cluster of symptoms that was diagnosed as a mental illness. And that's what led me into counseling and looking at traumas and the conditioning and the programming. And that's what led me to tapping. So that was the first thing. I needed to get my life back together. I needed to get some balance and some inner peace. So that was the main drive for a lot of years to get that happening. And then after that happened, I started earning big money, but I had this ridiculous mindset where I would earn the big money and then I would end up with no money again. And I was always stressed and anxious and watching the money. It was just so horrible. It really was. Yeah. Yeah. So I come from humble beginnings. I grew up in a family where my mother didn't work and my father lived on the land. So he worked the land and he got to the point where he busted his back and was unable to work. So he was in debt and he owed money all over town. Oh, geez. And they were constantly, we couldn't afford to do things, all this stuff going on. So basically when it showed up in my life, I knew exactly where it come from. It's like, I've got to go back there and do this shit. I've got to clear it out. Once and for all.
All of the beliefs surrounding all of that, it had to have been pretty stressful. A lot of anxiety around it.
Unbelievable. And embarrassing and humiliating. Like, I'm a master practitioner and I've still got this stuff going on around my money. And I was you know, paying big money for educations and training and travel. But
Yeah.
when I look back now, I didn't really have the money, but because I didn't have a management system or I didn't know my figures, I had no idea. It's like, I want to go to the training, the money's in the bank, I'm going.
Wow.
Without understanding, you know, that you need a system and, you know, bills are coming up. And
Right.
so, yeah, really, and my worst point, like, this was the really thing. I had no money in the bank, my car broke down, and I didn't have the money to fix the car. And then I got a quote, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I can do that. So I fixed the car, and then the bill was twice what he had quoted.
Jeez.
And I'm like, dude, I don't have the money. Like, and
Yeah.
just saying that to someone, it's horrible. Like, the shame, the embarrassment.
Yeah.
So then I needed groceries, and this was the nail, you know, the nail in the coffin, where it's like, we're done.
Yeah.
I ordered some groceries online because I didn't have a car. And as I do that, an automatic payment come out of my bank, and I couldn't actually pay for the groceries I just ordered. And I had to ring up and cancel.
Oh, and that's just the most, you know what? I get panicky when I go through the grocery line. I'm gonna, and there's a lot of stuff. I obviously some beliefs around that, but you know, when your credit card gets declined for some weird ass reason, and you're standing there and you've got about $400 worth of groceries, and it doesn't go through, and everybody's looking at you like, she's obviously not paying her bills.
Yeah.
I mean, and you just feel like you want to sink down into a hole. I can't imagine. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've had
So
that
it was
before.
at that point, I call it a defining moment, because I drew a line in the sand. I drew a line in the sand, and I'm like, that's it. I am never going to experience this again. This is bullshit. I know the stuff. I know the work. I need to do it. I actually need to sit down and do it. So that's when I.
And Pam, you were a master practitioner at that point, right? You were working.
Oh, absolutely. I've been a master practitioner for over 10 years.
Wow.
And it was still showing up. But I hadn't done the work. I was too busy worrying about getting my life in balance, getting the inner peace. And I really, to be honest, I don't even, because the money would come. It would always come. And I would have big money again, and I'd be able to do what I want, and I'd be able to. So I ignored it again. And then I'd be back there again. And it's, you know. Wow. So then, so the first thing I did was look at all the emotional relationship with the money.
Okay.
So that's all the emotions. And then I looked at the systems, getting system. And like, I'd read all the books. I'd read the Napoleon Hill, the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the Barefoot Investor, the Badass at Making Money. Like, the list goes on. Because I really felt that knowledge was power.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not true. It's a lie. Knowledge is potential power.
That's amazing. You said I want to write that down. That's true.
Potential power, because if you're not implementing all the knowledge you're learning, it's not powerful. But anyway, I then used all the techniques and skills that I had to really clear it out, like just completely. And then I just got so motivated because it changed everything in my life. They say money can't buy you happiness. It is bullshit. When you are in charge of money, when you know that you've got this, the happiness, it's not like when they say money is about buying happiness, they talk about, you know, that you're buying things to create the happiness. You know, you're buying a car and now you're happy. You're buying the new house and now you're happy. That part's true. Yeah. That's absolutely true. But having a money system in place is just so empowering. It's unbelievable.
It's safety. I mean, it feels safe. If you did have a money system in place, there's got to be safety in that.
Yeah.
Wow. So you use this type of work to help better your relationships with money, right? Is that essentially 100%. What you ended up doing? Okay.
100%.
Wow.
So money. So the other thing I did was I looked at all the old. So I did the systems and I did the emotional, and it really just transformed even the way I thought about money.
Wow.
The way
How did you notice that, though, Pam? What were some of the things that you noticed about that? Just, I mean, you started recognizing your relationship had changed.
In place, you don't have to think about money all the time.
Right.
You don't actually think about it anymore. You're not desperate for money. You know the money's there. You know that it's going into the system, and it just started to grow. Once I had the system in place, the money in the bank started to grow, and then my business started to boom. It just started to take off.
Wow. That's awesome.
It was just, they say that money, this is what they say, money leaves chaos. So if there's chaos in the residential, in the retail real estate market, money disappears. If there's chaos in the stock market, money disappears.
Okay.
But if there's systems and there's things in place, money flows in.
Yeah, I can see that.
Exactly what I did. It just started to flow in.
Wow. That's awesome, Pam. And I'll tell you what, Pam's a boss. She's got like assistants working for her. She's got multiple things going on, deals. I mean, she's making money moves. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
More than it ever has. Absolutely.
That's amazing. So I have a question for you. We talked a little bit about this. Now, when people win the lotto, which I think is pretty fascinating, the psychology behind this, right?
Oh, this is...
They win like $1 billion, right? More than we can even handle. Why is it in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, they're completely broke again? Like, what is that about?
This to me is the most fascinating statistic. Like, it's just fascinating because it's global. Yeah. So the global statistic is 85 to 90% of everyone globally that wins tax lotto within a year to 2 years will be back to where they were, or they'll actually be worse off.
That's freaking crazy. I mean, seriously, it's mind-blowing.
It's crazy, but it's amazing, and it's exciting because we all think it's about the money, and we all want that money, but yet these people are getting the money, and within a year to 2 years, it's all gone.
Yeah.
So this is absolute proof that it's about the mindset.
Yes.
And what 100%. The mindset is made up of, so it's our mindset, it's our emotional relationship with money, it's the systems that I was talking about, it is knowing our figures, it is knowing our budget. And I'd been in business probably about 18 years at the time. I didn't know my figures. I didn't know my budget. Either the money was there or it wasn't there. That's all I knew.
Right.
So it's knowing your figures. It's the stories you tell yourself. Yeah. And then it's also our limiting beliefs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just that. So one of the stories, this is one I love to share. One of the stories we tell ourselves, this is handed down from generation to generation, is money doesn't grow on trees.
Right, right. My parents said that.
And we'd all like a money tree that we just go out the back and we pull money off. We just rip them dollar notes off the tree.
I had to hear it all the time. Yeah.
Exactly. But the truth is, let's dive a little deeper into this one belief that all of us take on, by the way. We all believe it to be true.
Yeah.
Then I want you to think about apples, oranges, avocados, apricots, pears, maple syrup, rubber, timber, billions and billions of dollars globally grows on trees.
Yeah.
Billions of dollars.
Right, right.
So when we start to just look at that one thing that we've believed all of our life, it starts freeing us up around money. It's like, hey, shit, money does grow on trees. It can be that easy. And literally,
literally. I love that. You said that before, and I love that.
I love it. So then we've got money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
So this one, just this particular one, what it's about is money is an amplifier. So if you have good inside, it will amplify it. You know, it'll allow you to get a bigger platform to get your message out there. It will help you contribute. It will help you give back. Like, it just amplifies everything inside of you.
Right.
But if you're evil, it will amplify that.
That's interesting. So when you're saying that, if your intentions are more in a negative way, right? More harmful.
Yeah.
That's what you're. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, we'll amplify that. So that's where the money is the root of all evil comes from. Because they were looking at people that had money that inside themselves weren't so good, so they were doing bad things with the money, and they were greedy, and they were taking from people. So it was amplifying what was inside of them.
Brilliant. Yeah. You guys, that's really amazing what she just said.
It really is.
What's going on inside your brain, your beliefs around it, your fears around it, your intentions with it. That's exactly what you attract. That's kind of law of attraction type stuff.
Yeah.
Pam's freaking awesome. She's amazing.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, keep going, Pam. Keep giving us more.
So where does our mindset come from? So where does all this come from? So of course, the moment we're born into our life, the moment we start to experience life, we have interactions around, and I'm going to talk specifically for money in here, but it's for everything. It's actually for everything. But we start to experience money. And we start, they say that the number one thing that parents fight about, the number one is money. So as children, we start to experience that. And then we create memories from what we've experienced.
Yeah.
That we start to create, and it's important to note we create the memories here.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks our memories are exactly how it is, but we create them. They're not quite. Right. That's why when you go to a family gathering and you get around a family gathering, you're all sharing family stories, but all of you have different versions, Right.
That's right. Yep.
We all make it up, Yep. So then we have our memories, and then from these experiences and our memories, our beliefs are created. So and some are handed down, like I just spoke about. Some of the ones I shared have been handed down for generations. But we also create our own beliefs. Right. Example of this would be I worked with a lady who had been saving her money in a piggy bank. And she was saving her money, and obviously things got tight in the house, and Mum decided to spend the money. Okay. So her mum, got tight, but she never replaced it. So here this lady is, like this young woman is, and she can't work out why she can't save money.
Okay.
And it went straight back to why would she save money when someone's just going to take it?
Oh, wow.
So it's these little things that happen in our childhood that become quite significant depending on our decisions around them, the emotions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then after we create our beliefs, then we create our identity around money.
Right. And
that's something like I'm hopeless with money, or that lady I just spoke about she was like, I can't save money. She believed she couldn't save money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So after we create our identity around money, then that is what our thoughts come from. So we've got all these beliefs in our identity, so our thoughts around money then form.
Yeah.
Whether it's money is hard to come by, I can't do that, I can't afford. Like, there's all these thoughts that go on, but they're all created from everything before that.
You know what I found was interesting, Pam? You put something on your Ultimate Moneymaker website about looking for permission to be rich or to go after what I want.
Yes.
Like, I thought that was super freaking powerful, and it struck a chord for me. So obviously, I have stuff to work on with that. But
but it's true, absolutely, Jules, absolutely.
Can you expound on that?
So what that's about is when we're younger, we need permission to do everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's just this, from the moment we're born, basically, we're instilled that we need permission, and we need that permission. So what happens is we don't really give ourselves permission to do it, you know, and you have to ask for everything, you know. So we're waiting, we're constantly waiting for someone to give us permission to go out there and make shitloads of money, or you know, to be happy, to be
that just spoke to me.
Yeah.
That spoke to me, because it really did, because when I was a kid, and I literally would get allowance. So thinking about that connection, where when I was a child and I was, you know, I would clean up my room, or I do extra chores or whatever to get allowance.
Yes.
And then when I want to go buy something, I'd have to ask permission to use my allowance.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
I want to buy this,
Oh,
I want to buy that. So, and then I'd get shot down. Well, no, that's a waste of money. I'd hear that. Or that's not going to be worth spending your allowance on that. So whatever I wanted or needed, or whatever that was ingrained in my brain. So the asking permission was just struck a chord with me when I looked at your Ultimate Moneymaker website. I thought that was really brilliant what you wrote about that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So one of the things I did when I first realized that, Jules, is off the internet, I grabbed an image of permission granted. You know, the image, it was just a Google image, and I stuck it everywhere.
Wow.
Giving myself permission. Absolutely giving myself permission.
I love that. I think that's amazing. And that really was a standout for me. But you had other things on there too that was a standout. So now, okay, why do you think so many people have money issues then? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, what we've just talked about, number one, they've got it because from the moment we're born, and everyone experiences money differently.
Yeah.
So it comes from that earlier stuff, from the programming, the conditioning.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is I have worked with people that have made 50,000, and I've worked with people that have made 500,000, and they still have the exact same thing.
Wow.
They still have this. It's like a love-hate relationship with money.
Yeah.
And they want it, but they don't want it. You know, they have this, it's good, they need it, but you don't want to be greedy. You don't want to be rich.
Yeah.
And the other side of it is, we haven't been taught, well, I know me personally, I was not taught at all how to handle money. Not at all.
I gotta say I wasn't either. I was very minimal. I remember my mom chewing on the side of her cheek, stewing over the checkbook because she was the balancer, okay? And so my thinking was, she just was in such a shitty mood. Anytime she was, so we all learned to stay the hell away from her, because she would be chewing on the side of her cheek while she's balancing her checkbook, and just looked stressed to the max, hating on everyone. And after that, I was like, I don't want any part of that. So I truly did not learn how to balance a checkbook just from mere, just watching that, witnessing that. It just looked painful for me.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And for me, it was a limiting thing. It was, I don't want to be limited.
Right.
And I have had more money to spend. Like, this is the thing that fascinated me the most. I have had more money. I was in, as I said, before I started this, it was 18 years of business. I'd never paid myself. And I learned that in The Riches of Babylon. Rule 1, pay yourself.
Pay yourself.
I didn't do it.
True.
So I knew it, but I just didn't implement it. And that's where I started to clear out all my resistance to putting all the systems in place that I need to learning about the budget, and to understanding a money management system and putting that in place. And of course, so much resistance comes up.
And you teach people this, right? Is this what you do with the Ultimate Money? Can you
program?
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about that?
So the first part of the program is called the foundations. that's our emotional relationship with money.
Okay.
So that's all about the emotional relationship with money. It's about the stories, the beliefs, all of that. And it's me on video on my own,
Okay.
talking about specific things, helping people to dive deep into where these beliefs might have come from, where these memories might be hidden. So I take them through a process, and there's different videos on different things. One's on a story. You get to hear my story in full detail, talk about vulnerable and opening up to the world, like this is it, this is who I am, this is what I was creating. And then you get to rewrite. So you get to write your own story, but then you get to rewrite it.
Yeah.
And you go through a process of rewriting it. Lots of tapping on all that stuff. So that's the foundations.
Okay.
Then you get to the premium. I took 11 amazing women through the process, and we watched them grow. We watched them come up against their resistance. We watched them, and we tap it out, of course. We're not just watching them. We use the skills and the techniques, and different techniques, but tapping's in there definitely, to clear it out.
Okay.
I teach people, if they've never done their budget, I'm not an expert at this. Like, you know that. I'm telling you. I'm not an expert at this, but I can give you, this is the basics. Yeah. This is what changed. This basic is what's changed my life.
Wow.
So if you want to go and learn more, which I highly recommend you do, I haven't stopped learning, by the way. I haven't stopped learning. It's like, I get this now. I get how important to my life this is, and I spend weeks on it now, just learning more and knowing more. So that's the systems. I talk about the management system. We tap out all the resistance to doing it, and we watch these beautiful women have the most amazing moments throughout it. You know, and then
that's powerful.
That's awesome. And then they have shit moments as well, and it's like, go back to square one, and you know.
Yeah.
And when I was doing that, the corona hit as well.
Oh, geez.
Right in the middle of that. So you see how it impacted them, but you also see how it didn't impact me at all.
Wow.
At all. And in the past, I would have been in deep shit. Like, I really...
of course. And a lot of people are. I mean, a lot of people go into the panic, and there's a lot of worries around all of it.
Yeah. Fear, panic. What the hell am I going to do? You know, how am I going to... Yeah.
How am I going to feed my family? How am I going to be able to survive? What am I mean, you just go in this fight or flight that's just mind-boggling. Yeah. And I can't imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see the women going through that as well.
Yeah. So I have a question for you, Pam. When people start through your program, do you teach them how to tap? What do you do?
Yes, so in the foundations, by the way, when you buy the premium, you get the foundations as well.
Okay.
Yep, so you buy you have the foundation. In the foundation, teach them all about the tapping. I teach them about our mindset, how it's created. I go right through what I call the Imbitfar, which is what I was sharing with you earlier about our experiences, our memories, our beliefs, our identity, our thoughts, our feelings, and then our actions and results. I take them right through all of that.
Okay.
And teach them why it's important, because we need to know why it's important to go back. People just want to move forward. They want a quick fix. And by the way, if you're looking for a quick fix, this isn't your program. It is not your program. If you're looking for a quick fix, not going to happen.
We say this all the time. I mean, because it really is. You do have to take a deep dive. You have to do this work. It's self-empowering, and the results are amazing, but it's not a quick fix.
No, not a quick fix. But it lasts a lifetime. A whole lifetime.
Yeah.
That's just phenomenal.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Man, Pam, you got a lot to offer.
Oh, man, I'm so passionate about people understanding how easy this is. Like, we have resistance to it, but when we release the here's an example. I used to do my zero. I've got a bookkeeper that does my zero, but I would do the start of it. I would do the implementation of it, and then I'd send it off to my bookkeeper, and she would finalize it. Okay. Before I did this, it could take me 2 hours to 3 hours to sometimes 2 days. And it's
Okay.
all systemated. It's a feed from my bank. Like, it was weird.
Okay, because it was cutting out a bit. So you said a Xero. What is that? I'm
Xero
sorry.
is an online accounting program.
Okay. I was trying to.
And the bank feeds into it. So it's an online accounting thing. And it would take me 2 hours, 3 hours, 2 days.
Okay.
And I used to say, like, why am I paying so much for this platform and the bookkeeper when it's taken so long? Anyway, after I did the program, after I went through everything I'd done, 15 minutes max.
Wow.
15 minutes max, and it's done.
Man, Pam, why are you not working with big corporations on this stuff?
Because I love people. I just love people. I don't care who I work with on here.
There's a lot of people that need this. I mean,
absolutely.
Everybody. Yeah, absolutely. All facets.
And I know that because I have worked, as I said, I've worked with people. 500,000 a year they're earning. 500,000 a year, and they've still got money issues. They've still got no cash flow.
Yeah. It's amazing. Okay, we've got a little bit of time here. Does anybody have any questions for Pam? I know there were some that were going through the feed. Let me scroll back up.
Yep.
Give me a second.
I wish you could see me because I have a $100 bill in my hand. When you were playing with the Monopoly money, I grabbed my purse and it's like, I got $100 bill in my purse.
You stop. I don't have that. I've got Monopoly money. I was like,
I leave it in my purse. It's always there.
Quarters. I might have 2 quarters in my purse.
2 quarters.
So,
yeah.
Yes. Hold on. Let me
anyway,
scroll
questions.
here real quick and see. We've got a lot of comments. Charging for your value. Best way to go about that. That's a good question.
Well, charging for your value is about your value of money. It's not really about charging for your value. Once you value money and you understand it's a unit, it's just a unit of measurement. Yeah. If you believe you give value, it's not your value, it's you give value. And when you give value, people will give you the value back.
Yeah, that's true. That's really good.
So
that's
it's about you absolutely just valuing what you give for that money. It's all about a unit of exchange.
Yeah, that's true.
That makes sense, yeah?
So would it make sense then? So if you feel that your value is high, is it wrong? I mean, if you've got any resistance to putting it out there at a higher dollar amount, I mean, with that resistance, is that something then you would work on? Because I know for myself, because I know for myself, when I look at the overall package that I'm going to put out there, I start backtracking and being like, well, no, I can't do that because, I don't want to, overcharge people, or I don't want to, I think about limiting funds available for people because if they're sick or they're dealing with something. And then I start backtracking, but then I think to myself, my God, I'm working day and night. I'm pulling away from my family. I'm trying to, build up this baby. And I look at that and I start having the resistance around putting a dollar value on these things that I'm putting together with the flip and shift. So
excellent.
What you said was very powerful for me. And Tiffany wrote that question. So let's keep going.
So it's about knowing the value you give. Like I just give and give and give. So therefore I know the value.
Yeah.
I know the value of all of the training I've done. Like I've been training now for 25 years.
Wow.
And that has value.
It does. Absolutely.
That has value. So knowing that I can make changes in people and make quick changes in people. Yeah. That has value.
It does. Yeah,
so when I know what I give has value, it's not hard to then ask for that value back.
That's
and
wonderful.
There's one other thing that really helped me to change this. When I first started to really increase my hourly rate and my packages and stuff like that, it was always, well, I know that there'll be people that can't afford that.
Right.
But then I realised, but there's so many people out there that they can afford.
Right.
That can cater for them.
And they're ready to do it. And they're ready and willing and ready to do it.
Yeah, there's people out there.
Provide. Right.
Yeah. So they can provide for them people, and I used to refer people on. It was like, you know, if you can't afford my fees, there's other practitioners out there. But that's also where the YouTube come in.
Yeah.
It was like, well, here, go to my YouTube channel, start the work yourself. You can do this. This is empowerment. This is not always going to someone to get resolved. It's doing it yourself. So, yeah, that helped as well.
That's awesome. Thank you for that. I've got another question. Best way to save money?
The best way to save money is have a system, to know your figures, to know what's coming in, to know on a yearly basis what's going out. You really got to know your figures. And when you know your figures, you start by just putting a little bit aside.
Yeah.
You have a bank, a separate bank, just a little bit aside, and that's where you start.
Awesome.
And then you see it start to grow, and it's like, ooh, that looks good. Maybe I want to put a little bit more over there.
Right. Yep. You said something too a while back. It was about outsourcing. I like kind of what you said about that, about almost like your time is energy, your time's worth something. So outsourcing's kind of key for you. And I thought that was kind of cool and something I talked to my husband about, who's a business owner.
Yeah.
And I'd like can you expound a little bit upon that?
So when I first started outsourcing, I have to be honest here, I really didn't think I could afford it. I seriously did not think I could afford it because I wasn't valuing my time that it took to do all of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and like I'm charging, you know, like $300 an hour, and then I'm spending an hour on doing something like, well, at one time it was creating Facebook posts. I hated it. I'm not a big social media girl. It just didn't light my fire.
It's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Didn't light my fire. So anyway, I outsourced. I outsourced for months and months and months. And then when I started, I would share in between that. Yeah. And when I was sharing in between that, it was stuff I liked. It was like sharing photos. I love nature and I love photography. It's got nothing to do with my business, but I'm all about clean living. So, and I'm all about doing your passion.
Yeah. So and I want to add to that because I think that outsourcing piece can apply to anybody in any facet of their life. For example, I know a friend who works her ass off all week, and then she has to come home. She's got a bunch of kids at home, and all she does is clean the house over the weekend. She's freaking miserable.
Outsource the whole thing. Outsource it.
I said I had that conversation with you, and I'd had that conversation that night about outsourcing, and I thought there's a prime example right there where you're just working a 12-hour day type job where you're working your ass off, dealing with sick patients all day long, right? And then 100%. On the weekend, you're coming home and you're just freaking exhausted. You got your kids who just created a freaking tornado throughout the house. And I'm like, and then you're spending all Saturday, and then you only have about a half day on Sunday because you've got family stuff going on Sunday to have to yourself. I'm like, you're working your
ridiculous.
Outsource it. Outsource it.
Outsource it. Whatever you can. Whatever you can. It can be housekeeping. It can be mowing your lawns. It can be all of it. But it can be things in your business as well.
Yes.
It definitely can be things within your business. And the more you outsource, the more you know, and then now I outsource I now have an employee that does my emails and my marketing to my database. And it's just brilliant. And it frees me up to do what I'm passionate about.
Yep. We have one more question, and then I got to start plugging you, Pam. These hours go really fast. So, just so you know. I know. It's great. We could talk a long time. I know you and I could talk for a long time.
Anyway, let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so question for you. Your program that you have that just launched today, is it for everyone? Is it for anyone, everyone?
No, it's not for people that want a quick fix. Definitely not for people that want a quick fix. It's not for people that have a library of self-help. Okay. You know, you're going to have to do the work in this one. You're going to have to commit. But it is for people that are really ready to draw that line in the sand and say enough is enough. I am not, this is the big thing, I am not handing this down to my children. It ends with that.
Yeah, and you see that a lot. I mean, people do. They hand down the debt. They hand down the debt ideology around it.
The mindset gets handed down.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So it's for people that are seriously wanting to get their mojo back around money. They really, really want to get their mojo back. And
I love that.
3 different levels. There's the foundation, which is our emotional relationship. There's the premium, where I teach you the systems, the strategies. And then there's the elite, where I throw in a couple of sessions with me at the end of it to make sure that you really, really get rid of it all.
And you guys, so where you can find the Ultimate Money Makeover, it's the ultimatemoneymakeover.com. Tiffany's been posting it down at the bottom. You guys, go through it and go to the bottom and read the testimonials.
The beautiful women.
let me just throw a couple things out there. I just want to read it because I think they're really powerful. One of the gals that's on there that wrote, "Money and I are best friends." I mean, like, what? Money and I are best friends. I think that's cool. Now I can support myself financially. I love money and I don't worry so much about charging people for my services. This is from her program. Okay? Hold on. Another one. "I'm at peace regardless of the amount in my bank account." Who freaking can say that with the beautiful smile on her face, right? "I'm now love and so appreciate the money that comes my way in the form of gifts. My life is now easy and effortless." These are the people that have gone through Pam's program. Very powerful testimonies, okay?
Yeah.
So if you get a chance, read through them at the bottom. So go to www.theultimatemoneymakeover.com. Pretty powerful stuff. And then you can also find Pam. I just want to plug you before we run out of time, because this happens to us.
Go for it, babe.
I also want to plug you, Pam. You can find Pam, and she's brilliantly got everything connected to her website. And I know Tiffany put it into the feed, and we'll also post it again on our platforms as well, so that way people know where to go to reach you. But it's www.pam, right, with a W, WRIGHT.com.au. Don't forget the AU, otherwise I had trouble finding her. So look her up, you guys. If there's anything else, Pam, that I'm leaving out, is there anything else?
No, that's it. It's all linked to the website. My Instagram's linked there, my YouTube channel, all of it.
And you guys, take some time to look at her YouTube channel. I swear to God, there was a YouTube about fears over the coronavirus. I mean, I watched it like 4 times.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. Brilliantly put together.
Oh, thank you.
Powerful. You've got I always say you have a radio voice. I was like, you got the most powerful voice.
Well, it's interesting you said that, and then my video doesn't work. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know. I'm sorry about that.
I know.
I did not anticipate that happening.
They can feel me.
Yeah.
They can feel me.
They can feel you. We can feel you. But there are a lot of links that Tiffany has posted into the feed. So make sure you guys, if you want to check out Pam Wright, go there. All right, those links that we put in there. But I think overall,
thanks, Tiff.
Yeah, Pam is a wealth of knowledge. Here, I'm just going to read it. "I will be signing up with Pam. Julie, we need to do this. Wink, wink. All right, I'm getting pushed. Unbelievable stuff. You've got, a lot of good feedback here. So I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything else. But yeah, Pam, you're awesome. We really appreciate you coming on here.
Look, I loved it. I love sharing this message. I love empowering people to really turn their life around. And I'll just end it with money. Money can buy happiness. It really can.
Yeah.
Not by buying things, but it can buy the happiness. Yeah.
Well, and I like the idea, the concept of like just thinking about what is it about money that feels, if you can think of it, like if you're holding money in your hand and you start thinking about what is happiness surrounding money, I think that's really powerful, because it really doesn't.
Well, it is powerful.
Stuff. For me, it's not. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I I'll just finish on this. I used to have this, like, I don't need money. Like, I love nature. I go for a walk in nature and I'm as happy as, like, I just really don't need money. That was one of my old beliefs, seriously. And then I'm like, hey, dude, how do you think you get to the beach? You get there in a car. You get there for petrol. Like, how do you think you get there? How do you visit your friends?
Exactly. I know, but it's amazing that you're putting those tools out there for people. You have this program, and people can work with you, and they can make some really serious shifts in their life, which I think is freaking fantastic. And there's not a lot of things like that out there right now. Pam is the person to go to for that. So, I mean, you would hit up another program that's just dealing with the financial piece to it, and they're not thinking anything about the thinking around it. Pam has this. This is a very rare program that's out there. So take advantage of it, you guys. It's huge. So thank you so much, Pam. I really appreciate it. We don't have enough time. We're running out of time. It's going to kick us off here in just about a minute. But I want to let everybody know that this will be on...